Life's all about perspective. If you told the me from 5 years ago that I would have things this together, I think they'd call you a liar. If you told them that I now have a schedule, that I sleep and wake up at a set time every day, that I rotate a cleaning schedule to make sure the house is in shape, that I make a concrete food budget, upload hundreds of quality videos, and have several beautiful romantic partners, younger me would implode on the spot. The trick's optimism and determination, and I don't just mean that you gotta do things when you believe they'll work out okay. That's only half of it. Because no matter how much it hurts right now, or how many people deride or derate you, or how much you deride or derate you, you gotta believe it's all worth it just to see the sun shine again tomorrow, with new, more experienced eyes, stronger and brighter for what horrors they've seen. And now it's time to talk about Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol is a strange show that I'd call a bit superficial in its portrayal of danger, fear, and suffering, in the sense that it barely portrays those things. The characters rescue people from all manner of terrible circumstances, but from what I saw, they're generally having an absolute blast doing so, and there's very little in the way of character depth or emotional nuance to the proceedings. And hey, what am I supposed to expect, people will say. It's Nick Jr., they'll say. But I've always been a fan of giving children's media its fair shot. Obviously, Paw Patrol just wasted its chance to do something impactful. I guess, to the show's credit, there is the Mighty Pups TV special, which is basically a terrible, watered-down first pass at the narrative theme later used in Paw Patrol, the movie. To be blunt, Mighty Pups is a huge mess. It's got too much filler, convoluted plot elements that don't service the overarching theme, lazy exposition, poor presentation and pacing, and arbitrary conflict resolution. If you're excessively generous, you could call it a decent try, but it doesn't even feel like it was aiming for the bare minimum most of the time. Given my aforementioned issues with the franchise, I'll admit it took some convincing to actually watch Paw Patrol, the movie. Thankfully, I got all the convincing I needed when the absolutely surreal early reviews started to hit. These wondrous masterpieces of cinematic analysis left me fucking floored, flabbergasted, awestruck. Had the winds of hope and change swept across the landscape of Paw Patrol's utterly vapid desert of meaninglessness? In short, kinda. Don't get me wrong, there's no doubt that Paw Patrol, the movie, is a massive glow-up. There's no understating how much a boon Paw Patrol, the movie is to Paw Patrol as both a brand and an artistic work. Paw Patrol, the movie, probably made some people cry. Someone might seriously still love it to pieces years and years later as an adult. It's got the good, heartful juices overflowing from its many orifices. But it's still very, very shallow. For context, I thought My Little Pony: A New Generation was meaningful, but also kind of shallow. It had its themes, its thoughtful considerations of culture, and its lovingly crafted characters, but it was also heedlessly optimistic and so pure-hearted that there wasn't much room for the darker considerations of humanity, and that's fine. But Paw Patrol, the movie, takes that level of unironic sweetness to, well, new heights. No one in Paw Patrol, the movie, really has personal thoughts, or considered beliefs, or nuance. And anything that's expressed is expressed in a big, obvious way, because everyone's so open, so clear, and so agreeable, there's very little room for conflict or sincere humanity in the film. In this way, it runs the risk of being just as void of emotion as the long-running series it's based on. But it's not, for one very good reason. In a world where emotions like fear and doubt are shown to be practically non-existent or otherwise comical or trivial, when a character does genuinely experience them realistically, it's a big, hugely theatrical deal. A theatrical enough deal to base the entire narrative conflict around, and that's exactly what happens here. A member of the titular Paw Patrol, Chase, isn't exactly stoked that he has to return to Adventure City with his crew. He was abandoned there as a puppy, and it was terrifying. Everything was so massive, and he felt so insignificant and terrified. Though he's a big hero now in the comparatively sleepy town of Adventure Bay, he's worried that when he returns to the city, everyone will see him for the frightened, weak little loser he truly is. And over the course of the film, he must confront that pain, that doubt, that gnawing insecurity. How can Chase rescue anyone when he's afraid? When the doubt does get to him? When the dread wells inside and makes him think and feel in ways he's never known? Heroes don't feel this way, do they? Eventually he learns that, yeah, of course they do. Anyone who's ever in their life done a hard thing has felt this way. Strength isn't about never knowing fear. It isn't about never knowing the sting of adversity. Adversity is our chance to shine the brightest by pushing through the spiraling, internal negativity to stare down our demons, to stare down our fear and shoulder our pain. It's the bleeding, the hurting, and the growth we reap from that pain that's so beautiful. Life gets harder every day, and it doesn't always have to. We make it that way. Trying is hard, but even if we don't get out what we put in, even if we're not sure we'll succeed, there's always more to discover about ourselves through our efforts. Always more to know, always more us to be, always a tomorrow to see. That's why we push forward, and this film's a somewhat sloppy, if still extremely kind-hearted, essay to the benefit of strife. You get a few characters singing sweet praises and loving considerations of value in Jace's ear, a stunningly emotional flashback, a suitably spectacular demonstration of personal determination, and it all wraps up nicely. The theme is by far best exemplified in the movie's own song, The Use in Trying, which spells out the theme louder for those of us in the back or those hard of hearing. Have you seen this song and dance before? Undoubtedly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, we are more beautiful for our scars, and so on. But no art spins a tale equivalent to another, and I've never seen another work tackle the subject as wholesomely as Paw Patrol the movie. This film is so gleefully devoid of irony and cynicism, yet perfectly self-aware and so effortlessly fluffy in its shallow sentimentality. I believe it deserves this video essay of an equally soft-hearted and lovey-dovey persuasion. Go show your children this movie. Did you know I have a Patreon now? It's true, and you can directly influence the kind of content I make if you like, or just pledge to support me. Either way, if you do, you'll get a shout out at the end of these videos. It helps a lot. I love sharing art, and I'm going to keep doing it either way, but, you know, what helps helps. The link is in the description if you're interested. Thank you all so much for your time and thoughts, and I'll talk to you soon.